So royalty 10,800, minimum rent is 9,600. How much excess is there? 1,200. Bima Brothers who obtained a local mine on 1st October 2007 on the following term: royalty 1 rupee per ton, royalty to landlord, 2 short working 19,000, totally 19,000 is transferred to production account. Hello, my dear students. I am Dr. B.S. Subramanya, called by name Dr. BSS, Professor in Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram First Aid College, a Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. In this session, I am going to hand Advanced Financial Accounting, second semester, Unit 3, Session 6, in favor of royalty account. I told in the last session also, what is royalty? It is a compensation payable by the lessee, the user of the land, to the owner of the land is called lessor. There are two parties are there. One is called the lessor, one is called the lessee. Lessor is nothing but a landlord. Lessee, the man who utilized the patent right. So if you utilize the patent right, he's called the lessee. He has to pay the money to the lessor, either the minimum rent or the royalty, whichever is more. This is important. The lessee has to pay either the minimum rent or the royalty, whichever is more. If the royalty is more, he has to pay the royalty. If the minimum rent is more, he has to pay the minimum rent, whichever is more to the landlord. So a landlord is always a save. So the lessee has to pay either the minimum rent or whatever the royalty comes, whichever is more should be payable to whom? Landlord. If the minimum rent is less, then you have to pay the royalty. If the royalty is more and minimum rent means that time he has to pay the royalty. By chance, if the minimum rent is more and the royalty is less, then he has to pay the minimum rent, whichever is more. So that can be worked out in a problem with the help of a chart. We'll move on. Effect of strike, lockout and accident problem. This is a problem. Bima Brothers who obtained a local mine on 1st October 2007 on the following term: royalty 1 rupee per ton. If one coal in the mine, if they obtain 1 ton, he has to pay a royalty of 1 rupees to the landlord. Minimum rent of rupees 12,000 per annum. If the royalty is less, they have to pay the minimum rent of 12,000 per annum. Recoupment of short working, any short working which can be recovered each year during next 3 years of subject to a maximum of 2,500 per annum. This is important. In the event of strike, the minimum rent would be taken pro rata on the basis of actual working day. But in the event of lockout, the lessee would enjoy a concession in respect of minimum rent for 50% period of lockout. This is important. Now, actual royalty 7,000, 10,200, 19,000, 10,873 days working, strike 9,000, lockout for 4 months. Calculation of royalty. Royalty is 7,000, minimum rent is 12,000, short working is 5,000. So whichever is more means minimum rent is payable. 10,200, minimum rent is 12,000, shortage of 1,800, payable whichever is more is 12,000. 19,000, minimum rent is 12,000, excess is 7,000, but what the subject may know, maximum of 2,500 should be recovered. The balance should be payable to 16,500. So royalty 10,800, minimum rent is 9,600. How much excess is there? 1,200 recover. The balance of 2,000, how much recover? 1,200. How much you could not recover? 1,300. So payable to landlord, minimum rent of 9,600. Out of 5,000, first we recover 2,500. Then out of 2,000, how much recover? 1,200. How much could not recover? 1,300. Pay to landlord, 9,600. Then royalty 9,000, minimum rent 10,000, short working result 1,000. So this 1,800 could not be recovered. Loss. Payable to landlord 10,000, whichever is more, either royalty or the minimum rent, whichever is more. Hope you understand. 7,000, 12,000 is the minimum rent, 5,000 is shortage, whichever is more is the minimum rent, then 10,200, 12,000 is the minimum rent, then 1,800 result in payable to 12,000. 19,000 minimum rent is 12,000. So out of 5,000, how much recover? Maximum recover they have given is only 2,500. Still they have to recover another 2,500. Next year, 10,000, 9,000. How much we can recover? 1,000 out of 2,500. How much recover? 1,200. How much you could not recover? 1,300. 9,600. Last year, 9,000. Then minimum rent is 10,000. Short working is 1,000. So this 1,800 could not be recovered. Transfer to P&L account, payable to landlord 10,000. Not a problem. In the books of BIMA minimum rent account, so if you see the chart, you understand. Royalty account data, short working account data to minimum rent. Same thing. Royalty account data, short working account data to minimum rent to landlord. Second year, royalty account data, short working account data to minimum rent to landlord account. No, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Whichever is more, the royalty is more. Then in the 11th year, 2011, once again minimum rent is more. Royalty account data, short working account data to minimum rent to landlord account. This goes in favor of minimum rent. Come back to royalty. So royalty to minimum 7,000 transfer to production account or P&L account. Royalty to minimum rent account by production account. Next, royalty to landlord to short working 19,000, totally 19,000 is transferred to production account. Royalty to landlord to short working 10,000 and transfer 10,000 and last year. Royalty to minimum rent 9,000 transfer to production account. How it will be? Royalty to minimum rent. What's entry? Royalty account data, short working account data to minimum. You take only the royalty. See, you can understand this one. Royalty to minimum rent. Royalty to minimum transfer production account. Next year also royalty to minimum transfer production account. Next year, so which is more? Royalty is more. Royalty account data to landlord account to short working by production account. Next year, royalty account data to landlord to short working by production account. Next year, minimum rent is more. Royalty account data, short working account data to minimum, royalty to minimum rent 9,000, transfer to production account. Hope you understand. Then come back to landlord. We pay 12,000. What is the 12,000? That is the minimum rent. Then you pay another. See the chart. We pay 12,000. What do you pay? That minimum rent. Then you pay 12,000. What is that minimum rent? Then you pay 6. This is the royalty. This you are paying 9,600. This is the minimum rent. Then you pay 10,000. 10,000 is the minimum rent. 2 bank account minimum rent you pay. 2 bank account minimum rent you have paid. Next year, landlord 2 bank, 2 short working, royalty you pay. Out of the royalty, how much you paid? 16,500. How much recover? 2,500. Next year, out of the royalty, how much you paid? 9,600. How much short working you have? 1,200. So in the last year, you paid how much? You need 10. What is the 10,000? Is minimum rent. So you pay 12,000. What is that? Minimum rent. 12,000. What is that called? Minimum rent. Then you pay 16,500, 2,500. What is that? Is called royalty. Next year, royalty is more. You pay 9,600. How much recover? 1,200. By royalty, 10,800. Next year, you paid how much? 10,000. What is the 10,000? Minimum rent. Come back to short working. What's the entry? Royalty account data, short working account data to minimum rent. Short working to minimum rent, carried down, brought down. Next year, short working 1,600. Total shortage is 6,800. Next year, 6,800. How much recover? Maximum of 2,500. Landlord maximum. 2,500. How much shortage? Balance carried down 4,300. 4,000. How much would not recover? 1,200. How much transfer to P&L account? 1,000. Out of 5,000, how much recover? 2,500. Then out of 2,500 balance, 1,200 is recovered. How much you could not recover? 1,300. Balance carried on 1,800. Brought down 1,800. Next year short 8,000. What is the total shortage? 2,800. Transfer to P&L account 1,800. How much still there? 1,000. So brought down to next year. Hope you understand. These are the lecture we have prepared. In the strike period, in the lockout period, how we have done here. Yeah. So in the examination, they will ask 4 lecture. One is minimum rent account, royalty account, landlord account. That's important. So you have to prepare. One is short working account, minimum rent account, royalties account, and the landlord account. 4 accounts they are going to prepare. First, you must know the chart. According to that chart only, we are going to do here. So all the problem based on the chart. You learn the chart properly according to that chart only. Either the minimum rent or the royalty, whichever is more is payable. Hope you understand. We have done about 8 problems. All the different problems you have solved in the royalties. We'll go in the next session, consignment. Then, bye. We'll meet in the next session with consignment. Hope you understand. We already done first chapter, incomplete record. Second one, hire purchase installment we have done. Third is royalty we have done. Next, we'll enter to the consignment account chapter. Then we'll do once again what's a model paper will do, and all the questions from the examination we are going to solve. Till then, goodbye. Meet in the next session.